Hey you guys, I'm back again. Did you take a test on the 100 hungry ants? And did you get all your ant parts together? Hopefully you've got them colored, maybe even cut out if we're lucky. Hopefully you've done that. If not, we'll have time to do it later. All right, I need you on your science book. Now I know some of you don't have your science book. It's no big deal. All right, it's not a problem. So, because I have it right up here on the board, you lucky people. So let's look at page 57. And we're talking about the differences in insects, because not all insects are alike. They all have different mouths, they have different wings, they have different legs. So let's see what this one is. So here we have the beetles. Look at these beetles. And their mouths are like pliers. Have you ever seen pliers? Your parents probably have pliers that you put together and it helps you turn things, or it helps you pick up things, or it grips things. Well, that's what these beetles are doing. And it's to catch prey. All right? So all the mouths are different because they all do different things, or they eat different things. Then you have the butterfly. Butterfly is kind of cool. And we'll probably see some pictures soon about how they eat. And you've got the butterfly, and she's got this little tongue thing that curls up into their mouth and then curls out so they can stick it down into a flower, because that's where they get their food, is their nectar. They stick it down into their flower. So, you know, all insects do not have the same mouths at all, right here, because it depends on what they're eating. All depends on what they're eating. These guys don't eat nectar, so they do not have the curling tongue, okay? This one doesn't go after any kind of prey or any kind of bugs, so the butterfly has the little straw-like tongue that goes out. So all mouths are not the same on our insects. Okay. Then we have page 58, more differences. I think it's kind of neat that they are different. Wouldn't it be boring if you just had one looking butterfly? I mean, we see a lot of monarch butterflies all over the place. Sometimes they're really pretty little yellow ones. Well, what happens if, I love seeing different kinds of butterflies. I like going different places and seeing different butterflies. It'd be kind of boring if you had the same kind of butterfly, don't you think? I mean, the monarchs are pretty, but it'd be kind of boring to have the same butterfly. So let's see. Now we're talking about their little antennae that are on their head. They're not just there to hear things. They're there sometimes to feel things. So with the antennae of a butterfly, it uses it to find flower nectar. No idea how that happens. Only God does. Well, and maybe people that study insects, but just think how cool God made this. Okay? And then you have the moth, and his little antennae is to find other moths, which I think is kind of interesting. So are all antennae in insects the same? No, they all have different things for it, all different reasons to have them. Then you've got kind of their legs. You've got the praying mantis, who has these big, gigantic front legs, but they're to catch food. Not to jump around, but to catch food. And they're the praying mantises because sometimes when you see them, their legs are like this, and they look like they're praying. Now, the grasshopper, he's got his legs in front, in back. And that helps him to hop up, because the praying mantis doesn't do a lot of hopping. He might go jump from one place to another, but he doesn't do a lot of hopping like the grasshopper. So their legs are different. And then we've got wings. Now, not all insects have wings. And not all the insects that have wings are the same. So on a fly, he has one pair of wings. Okay? But on a dragonfly, he has two pairs of wings. Some flying insects have one, some flying insects have two. So not all insects have wings, and they're not all the same, which I think is kind of interesting. Once again, wouldn't it be boring if there was just one kind of dog, or maybe one kind of cat? That'd kind of be boring, because your neighbor would have the same looking dog, and everyone had the same looking dog. Well, I don't know, maybe I don't like that way that dog looks, but it's too bad because it's the only kind of dog there is. So God really made life interesting when he made all these different things. I think it's awesome. I love that he does that. Well, you know what? I wanted to ask some questions. hold on. Let's ask a couple of questions here. When we said that they all have different ways for the antenna and their legs and their wings, but the thing is, what makes an insect? There are some things that really make an insect, okay? So the first thing is, Jaden, how many body parts does an insect have? 3 body parts, okay? And they are the
Head,
thorax, abdomen, okay? Then how many legs does an insect have? It has 6 legs. There we go. And does it have a skeleton on the inside or the outside?
the outside.
Outside, and it's called an exoskeleton. Here's one, and I don't think he's knowing this one. Is an insect warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
One.
Oh, he's cold-blooded. And remember, cold-blooded means that the animal's blood inside does not change. Excuse me, it does change. Whoop, beep. It does change. So a cold-blooded animal, its blood it changes with the weather. So if it's cold outside, the insect's blood is going to be cold, or whatever it is. If it's warm inside, they stay warm. Okay, and when they're warm, they're all jazzed and ready to go and flying around. When it's cold, they're so cold that they can't even move. But mammals, which is us, our blood inside does not change. So when we go outside, we're cold, we can adapt because our blood does not change. Okay, so we have to put a coat on, or when it's hot and woo, I'm so hot, then, we'll put our shorts on or our sundresses. So an insect is cold-blooded, which means its blood changes with the temperature. Okay, and we're warm-blooded, where our blood does not change with the temperature. Okay, all right. I have a fun song that we're going to sing. Okay, and of course, it's a song called, have you ever heard of head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes? Have you? Come on, you all have heard that one, right? Okay, well, this one is head, thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. And eyes and ears and antenna. Head, thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. Okay, now that I've done it and looked really funny, and I can just hear my class at home laughing at me, because that's what I do. I'm here for them to laugh at me. I need you to try it and get some exercise in, all right? Especially if I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. It goes head, thorax, abdomen, 6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, 6 legs. And eyes and ears and antennae. Head, thorax, abdomen, and 6 legs. All right, well, I've just got my exercise for the day. Awesome. Okay, so here it's showing us eyes, antenna, and a mouth. So here you can see their eyes. Most insects have got that compound eye, remember, what's got all the dinky little eyes in there. Look at this praying mantis's eyes. Yikes! Okay, remember they also have an exoskeleton. They have this hard shell. They all have this hard shell on them, and that's an exoskeleton. Exo means outside, an exoskeleton. Okay, an abdomen. Their abdomen, remember, you've got the head, the thorax. The thorax is the motor room where the legs and the wings are. But you have their abdomen right here, which has their breathing holes in it. And it holds eggs. There's another thing about insects. They have eggs. Okay, they don't have their babies live like mammals do. They have their babies with eggs. So down here in their abdomen is where their breathing holes are. They don't have lungs. They just have these little bitty holes that are little breathing holes. And then the thorax right here is where the legs and the wings are put together. Okay? Okay, let's see. Oh, and then we've got these little mouth parts. All these, look at how cool these are. You've got this one that chews, all right? This one, it's piercing or sucking, so it kind of looks like a straw or a sharp knife. And this one, it's called siphoning, which siphoning means to kind of suck up or to take off. So this one has kind of like a straw where it siphons and it curls back up. And sponging. So God, look at that. Oh, I don't know if I want to ever see this guy. And he has his, and he just soaks up the stuff that's around. Isn't that crazy? So let's see. We're going to say about these different body parts. Oh, I should have had it here. So you could have seen it better. Sorry.
They crawl on leaves. They fly through the air. They even dig in the ground. Insects are practically everywhere. They live on every continent, including Antarctica, although they prefer to live in warm areas. You are probably familiar with some common insects like bees, ants, and butterflies. But insects are the largest group of animals on Earth. Nearly 1 million species have been identified so far, and scientists estimate that there could be millions more just waiting to be discovered. Insects are invertebrates, or animals that do not have backbones. In fact, insects do not have any bones at all. Instead, they have a hard outer shell called an exoskeleton that gives them their structure. Insects have 3 main sections of their bodies: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. They have 6 legs that are connected to the thorax. Most insects also have wings and antennae. Although insects breathe air, they do not have lungs. Instead, they have a system of tubes and sacs through which air may pass or be pumped. This system can only carry air so far into the insect's body, and it is this that limits how large insects can grow. Although there are some very large insects on our planet, they cannot grow as large as other types of animals because after a certain size, they could not get enough air into their bodies to support themselves. Another interesting insect characteristic is their eyes. Insects have a special kind of eyes called compound eyes. Compound eyes are made up of hundreds or even thousands of tiny light-sensitive units. Each unit sees only a small part of the insect's surroundings, but all of them together create a mosaic image, a pattern of light and dark dots. Overall, insects do not see as well as humans do, and only some can see colors, but their eyes are excellent at detecting motion. Insects are cold-blooded, which means that they cannot control their body temperature. That is why insects usually live in warm places, and why you do not see as many insects during the winter as you do during the summer. To survive the cold, some insects enter a state called diapause, which is their version of hibernation, and will not become active again until warm weather returns. Insects hatch from eggs, and although some insects hatch as basically small versions of the adults of their species, others go through an incredible change before adulthood. It is called metamorphosis, from a word meaning to transform. The most famous example of metamorphosis in insects is the butterfly. Butterflies begin their lives as caterpillars and spend a few weeks eating and increasing in size. Once they are fully grown, the caterpillars will attach themselves to the underside of a leaf or branch and form a pupa, or chrysalis. The chrysalis hardens into a protective case, and over the next few weeks, the caterpillar inside transforms into a butterfly. When the butterfly is ready to emerge, the chrysalis splits open, but the butterfly cannot fly yet. It hangs upside down, pumping fluid into its wings to make them expand, and slowly opens and closes them to help them dry.
How cool is that?
Once its wings are ready, the butterfly takes off to find flowers to drink from. Eventually, it will lay eggs of its own, and the cycle starts all over again.
Oh, a cycle. We've talked a lot about different cycles.
Crawling or flying, alone or with thousands of friends, insects by the millions are incredibly important to life on Earth. Some insects are beneficial to humans, while others are pests. But no matter their shape, size, or color, insects make a big difference for such small creatures. I hope this helped you learn more about insects today. Goodbye till next time.
Okay. If I may, I've got something really neat to show you guys, and I'm hoping at my house, Jaden and I found, now I have to get on here and see if I can find it. I'm hoping it will work. In my back, I cannot preview, there's no preview installed. Oh, what does that mean? Open.
All right, you guys, I found this anthill at my house.
You see the anthill? Let's get it closer.
See all the ants right there? And look, it's a perfect mound. You see all the ants? Can you see them moving? Yeah? Well, what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna, look at, it's hard right there. It's been caked on. Oh, look. Look at all the ants coming out when I knock on it. Adeline, stay right there, baby.
Hi.
Because they don't want to, they're coming out.
For what?
Look at that anthill because they heard the noise and they want out. Let me out. Isn't this cool? Look at all the zillions of ants. Isn't that interesting? And this is hard. So they made, this is like an ant nest. Addie, get back, baby.
Yeah.
Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch.
Don't touch the rock.
Right. So this is hard, and the ants made this. It's like a big round mound. Look at, so it's an ant nest.
How can they make?
Isn't that crazy? Because they're ants, and they can make cool stuff like that.
They can make this.
Isn't that crazy? Look at, they're moving. Ah!
Can they make
Let me out, let me out.
Can they make a baseball?
Isn't that cool, you guys? I just wanted to show this to you since we're talking about insects.
Isn't that cool? Okay, I have one more. Let's hope it got sent because I just sent it. And it's the one with Jaden. So, come on. I hope the reason gets there. Well, I'll tell you what. When it comes, I'll show it to you. Okay? So right now, though, yeah, it hasn't come yet. But when it does, I'll show you. Okay? So, but what I do want to do is how about if we do your ant? Do you have all the parts for the ant? Hopefully. Okay. Well, I colored my ant red, okay? Because then I can find him if he ever falls. So I'm going to, remember, 3 parts. Okay, so I'm gonna glue that there. And I put a little glue here. All right, well, there's his body. Okay, he's got his body. All right, Jaden, I need a leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a leg. And where does the leg go? Where does the leg go? Head, thorax, or abdomen?
The thorax.
The thorax, because remember that thorax is the motor room. Okay. Now also with the 6 legs, what kind of legs do they have? They have jointed legs, right? Their legs are jointed. So I need to get another one of these guys. Okay. And we're gonna have them jointed. Just like this. Okay. All right. And we're even gonna put a foot on him. Do we have a foot? Let's put a foot on him. Okay. I don't know, just for fun. Okay. So there we go. Okay, let's have another leg, dude. All right, got another leg. Okay, I'm gonna have him walking. All right, have another joint, dude.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I love having help in class. Whoops. Of course, I usually have to pay him in food. That's okay. All right. Let's get a little leg. Remember, I got all different kinds of joints going.
I got 2.
Okay. And need another leg. Thank you. Now, it doesn't matter what color's your ant. You know, any color you want. So he looks like he's walking along. Now I know there are such things as flying ants. So they'd also probably have wings up here. Sorry, didn't do a flying ant. Okay, here's another foot. Now if somehow you did not get your ant, that's okay. You can even draw one if you want. You know, you could do that. And then we have one more. I had a little round guy. There we go, got that.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
So here you go. And you've got the little eye. Now I put it on, and like I said, your insect can go either way. Okay. And then after you do that, I would probably maybe do that so you can see him. And if you want to put a face on him, you know, because hello. And there you go. Looks like the littlest ant. He doesn't look this happy at the end of that story, though, did he? So here you go. Now, what if you don't have one of these? Well, gosh, we can always draw one. We can, let's see. Here's a body part. Here's a body part. Don't laugh at me with the way I do things. Okay, and then you can have his legs. Whoops. See? Okay. And we can give him an eye. Hello. So see, if you don't have this, you can always draw one and color him in. All right? But I do love these guys. So, hope you had fun doing that. Let me look really quick if that ant one came up. That second one, oh, it did. Okay. Whoops.
Yeah.
This is the one Jaden's. You can just hear his voice. I don't know if I've got a picture of him. Because we saw it. I was with my other 2 grandchildren, and Jaden wasn't at my house yet. So we went and we saw it, and I said, oh my gosh, we got to save it for Jaden to see. So then he was there. So we had to show him. So let's do this one. Tap it, Mom. Start tapping it. Tap it. Get out of the sun, baby. Harder, 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 harder. Little ants! They're crazy!
Leave it go.
That's Jaden pounding it.
It's so scary.
Is that you that said that? Is that crazy? We'll say it's out of line. Look how hard it is. You know, it's
But
not
then
just sand.
it's everywhere.
It has a shell on it. Me too. Oh, you just opened up another hole.
I put the rocks down so ants can go over it.
What a great idea.
And why no ants going over it?
There's one. Did you
Oh,
see?
it's two. There's three.
There's that are going over the rock right when he said that.
Look, there's 2-1. Now there's 282. Wait.
Oh my goodness. Too funny. Anyway, sweeties, boy, we went really long today, but that's okay. You can always pause it and start over and take a break. So anyway, hope you had a good time, and we'll see you tomorrow.